Today we're going to be making a coiled bowl. My name is LaDara McKinnon, a teaching artist at Clayworks in Charlotte, North Carolina. This video is presented by Clayworks in Charlotte, North Carolina, and made possible by the North Carolina Arts Council. The terms we will be going over for this project is mold, coil, and foot. The materials we will need for this project is clay, water, fork, modeling tool, and a mold. To get started, we will need a lot of coils. Coil, a rolled up piece of clay like a worm. To roll a coil, you need to roll it in your hands first like you're cold. Then place it on the table. Take two hands and gently start from the beginning and work your way out. When rolling your coil, you want to go a full 360. If you don't go a full 360, you will have a flat coil. Since we will need a lot of coils for this project, I went ahead and pre-rolled a lot of coils. You want about 20. To start out, we're going to start with the base. It's going to be in the shape of a cinnamon roll. So we're going to take our coil and gently start rolling it until it looks like a little cinnamon roll. Make sure when you're rolling your coil together that you're doing as tight as possible. When you run out of your coil, you just get a little bit of water and another coil and gently rub it together. There's no need to slip and score right now. We are going to be smoothing our clay together to make sure that it's attached. Now that our base is done, we're going to place it on top of our mold. Mold is a form that clay can be pushed in or wrapped around to create a shape. To start out, we want to make sure that our base is stuck to our mold and centered. To smooth out, we're going to be using a modeling tool. These tools are useful for creating smooth edges or curves on a form. When using a modeling tool, you want to hold it at an angle with a grip and make sure you have control of the modeling tool. Right now we're going the opposite direction of the lines of the coils to smooth it out. To attach the next piece, you want to place it right on the edge of the base. You're going to use the modeling tool to make it seamless by smoothing the edges together in the opposite direction. Just how we did the base, we're going to make the little cinnamon rolls to attach. When you're attaching the smaller coils, you want to think about the design. So I have a medium one already attached to the base. Now I'm going to make a smaller one to go beside it. Don't worry about any of the gaps right now between the coils. We will fix that later. I'm going to continue to add the coil design all the way around the base. Don't worry about anything being too neat right now. Just keep rolling your coils and using your modeling tool to smooth things out. Now that we have our first layer done, we're going to add another 3 layers of just longer coils all the way around. The key thing that we want to remember when adding these coils is that we want to push them into the other circular coils. If your coil ends up being too long, you just pinch off that extra bit of coil. Use your thumb to push the clay into the creases. For the next layer, I'm doing another long coil to continue. I'm not scoring and slipping to attach it. I'm just squishing the clay into the next coil. Now that all the layers are done, there is some holes that need to be filled in. I'm going to take a little bit of extra clay and just push the clay into those little slots. Now that we have filled in all the little holes, we're going to take our modeling tool and a little bit of water. Make sure your hand stays on the base while you turn. And you're going the opposite direction of each coil. So I'm going upwards and just gently smoothing that clay with water. Now that you have smoothed the bottom with your modeling tool by blending it all together, we're going to use our hands with a little bit of water and just move that clay around to make it smooth. It's like washing a window. I'm making sure to smooth out the edge of our bowl with one finger and a little bit of water. The last thing we're going to add to our bowl is a foot, the base of a pottery piece. I'm going to start out with a really big chunky piece of clay. I want the foot to be able to support of our bowl. To be able to support this big bowl, we want the coil to be as thick as our thumb. When placing a coil on the bottom of our bowl, we want it to be centered. If there's extra clay, just pinch it off. We're going to attach the coil together by scoring and slipping, and making sure we smooth out the seam. Make sure the foot is placed in the right area. I'm using the fork to mark where it needs to be placed. I know where the foot needs to be placed, I'm going to score and slip and attach. make sure the foot is seamless, just like the outside of our bowl. So I'm smoothing out the seam with a little bit of water. The last thing we have to do is clean up the rim of our bowl. So I'm taking a little bit of water in one finger and gently rubbing the rim. And there you have it, a coiled bowl. I hope you enjoyed this video.